President.
Senator from Maine.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise to support reauthorizing the Perkins Loan Program, which will expire tomorrow, September 30th, if the Senate does not act. Yesterday, the House of Representatives passed legislation to extend this vital program for 1 year. I urge my Senate colleagues to support this bill and send it immediately to the President for his signature. I want to recognize and thank my colleagues, Senator Baldwin, Senator Casey, the presiding officer, Senator Portman, for their leadership in highlighting the importance of this program. I am pleased to join with them in introducing a Senate resolution urging its extension. Mr. President, since 1958, the Perkins Loan Program has helped to make college affordable for millions of students who have financial need. In the state of Maine, more than 5,000 students received a Perkins loan last year, providing $9.2 million in aid. Last Friday, I had a conversation with the president of the University of Maine, who told me just how critical Perkins loans are to UMaine students. Mr. President, Perkins loans are a critical part of a college's and a student's financial aid resources. These loans help to fill gaps beyond what is available through the Department of Education's direct loan program and a family's ability to pay. A Perkins loan can meet that additional need so that students do not have to resort to borrowing through private or higher cost loans, and most of all, so that they can remain in school. Perkins borrowers are predominantly from lower income families. For example, at the University of Maine last year, 64% of Perkins borrowers had family incomes of $40,000 or less. The Perkins Loan Program is campus-based. That means that participating colleges and universities administer the loans. When students graduate, they make payments directly to their colleges and universities, and those payments are used to make new loans to other students through a revolving fund. These revolving funds are a combination of a federal contribution and an institutional match. Now, I think it's important to understand that Congress has not had to appropriate funds for the Perkins Loan Program since 2004 because of this revolving fund concept. But institutions continue to be able to assist needy students through this self-sustaining program. That is why we simply cannot allow it to lapse. As a member of the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, I know that our committee is committed to the reauthorization of the Higher Education Act, and I strongly support that effort. In the meantime, however, we must ensure that there is not a lapse in the financial assistance provided to students under the Perkins Loan Program. As I mentioned earlier, the House has passed a bill that extends the authority for the Perkins program for an additional year and does not authorize any additional federal funds. Students who receive a Perkins loan during this academic year and remain in the same academic program will be eligible to receive future Perkins loans. Mr. President, we only have 1 day before the Perkins Loan Program expires. Students at our colleges and universities are looking at us. They are depending on us to ensure that this vital and proven program does not expire. I urge my colleagues to pass the House-passed legislation so that the Perkins Loan Program can continue. Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to submit for the record a letter from the Chancellor of the University of Maine system in support of reauthorization of the Perkins Loan Program. And again, I want to—
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I want to commend my colleagues, including the presiding officer, Senator Portman, and my colleague from Wisconsin, who's been a leader on this issue as well. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President.